That's it. Maybe that's why they haven't been turning out the best. I've been drawing it on the wrong format the whole time. They need to be size 3000. Oh, so that's how they're supposed to be? Oh, come on. You know it's just gonna be like beginner's luck or something. They might turn out good at first, but then they're going to struggle. That's how minions are. They're so simple. Simple but impossible. Not only that, but my mom's not feeling good. Oh boy. The weather here, the coldest of weather, can be extremely cold. And wait a second. How come they're actually turning out good now? Was it the file size all along? It should have been maybe 3000 instead of the usual 4500 I usually do? Okay. So if I was to maybe do a new cover for Minions One and a Minion, it should definitely be in this kind of format. Definitely. He's always like this. Yeah, that's downstairs for you. My brother's arguing with my mom. You can hear them down there. Huh? Gru? Why am I quoting Mel all of a sudden? Maybe I have to move him down at the bottom right here. There we go. Make sure the overalls aren't too big. Maybe if they are big, I could at least show that there is some progress with this minion. The minion you see right there, I was trying to draw one earlier. In my style. This is still basically my style, but this is the one I don't like. Okay, so it's got that illumination flare. Something that my other minions didn't have. At least you know that that is a minion. I'm like, yeah, that looks like a cartoony minion, actually. I just gotta move the hair up a little bit more. How many hairs does he have anyway? Jeez, how do you even call that hair? It's like it's attached to his body. That's the most horrific minion design I've ever seen. Not only that, but he's going to be one of the main minion characters in Despicable Me 4. No. Okay. Does... Is he showing any progress? So far, yes. Good job. I'm happy you're a good artist. Am I really? I mean, could you tell me if, I mean, it does look like a minion, but there's just something a little bit off about it now that I'm seeing it. I feel a little mixed about it now. Well, it's not a bad drawing, but it's not necessarily a good drawing either. So it's like a split in between. Well, this is what happens when you try to experiment with something and it just doesn't really go the way you expect. My minions will always turn out like this. They got the illumination flare, but that's just about it. At least you could say it is a minion. But when I look at other people's art, they can draw minions awesome. But me, not so much. But if I draw them constantly, maybe I might perfect their design. Hold on, if I did exactly what I did with Jeremy, then maybe they might actually turn out good. It's gonna take a lot of trial and error. So I should probably get through this the best way I can. I mean, I got Mel out of the way, so... What are the chances that... I almost said Otto's name. What are the chances that Mel might actually turn over a new leaf? I don't know. Judging from how he acts in Despicable Me 3 with little to no redeeming factors whatsoever, there's no telling if this minion is going to change, let alone if he actually will change. He looks all worried. He's like, these look like one of the Saturday morning minions from Illumination. They're like these little animated little cartoons that show the minions, but they're not CGI. They're actually animated, cartoony style. I do like it, but I'm more used to the style that I see the minions as usual. Does that look better than the one I did earlier? Without a doubt. I was gonna draw another minion right next to him, but I'm like, nah. I mean, in the preview, it does actually look good. But I'm like, at least you could tell that that's actually a minion. But created by me. There's also an auto I tried to draw earlier. I think Otto was probably one of the better minions that I drew. You know, commissions, you got Sparky, the dragon from Evertail, Labutata, Chad and Jeremy Kids, Shiny Needle Queen, Regular Holidays, Ioni Redesign, Trico, Quaxley, Jeremy. There's like a lot of those drawings that you see at the bottom. Okay, so let's try 3,500 this time, and we'll see what minion do I want to do. Okay, I already did Mel. I didn't save him yet, but I will save him later. Checking out Shiny, Hisuni, and Typhlosion. Jeremy got that after 5 raids. A far cry from the 2 that he got for Hisuni and Samurott. But, that is Jeremy, by the way, so he tried his best, you know. I don't want to do Mel again. I already did Mel. Let's do, which one do I want? Do I want Mordecai? Not a minion. Otto, maybe? Phil? Is this from, I think, Cineplex? Yes, I need the color palette. I also need this as a reference. You know, just so I can have the minion colors. Le auto test. I'll call it Le auto test. With Otto's size, it's going to be incredibly difficult to try to draw it. So I'm just going to probably draw half of him and then try to draw the goggles soon after. And try not to make his eyes a bit too big, let alone the goggles. Maybe I should probably draw the head first. And not make the eyes too big, like I said. He's got like 6 hairs. Just remember, this is just a test. There's no telling if Otto's gonna turn out good or not. I do want to make him happy. I don't see his braces. But you do know that is Otto. Don't want to make him too big. He is round, right? Kind of like that. Yeah, but you gotta make sure there's no bumps on the road. Yeah, when you're not drawing something you're used to, drawing minions is like one of the hardest things I've ever done. Even with the references, the minions don't turn out right. Like I said, they are a very simple design, but they are incredibly hard to draw. I draw with my finger. I don't use an Apple Pencil. They don't show his braces here. I don't understand why they don't. I mean, they do show it, but like, I guess the mouth just doesn't show it all the time. What's the hardest part about the minion? Maybe the overalls or the body type? I don't know. Because Otto's like a round minion. It's like he's going, hey Daniel, remember from the IHOP commercial? Excuse me, sir?
Mm-hmm.
We just cleaned the windows.
Mm-hmm.
At least you know it's Otto because he is a chubby minion. Very chubby minion. Yeah, this is from Cineplex. Wow. This one actually looks better than my other Otto. So I guess it does have a similarity to the Illumination. It's even got the Illumination flare. Is that what I've been doing wrong? 3,500 for the size from now on when drawing the minions? I guess that's what I've been doing wrong. Yeah, but Ibis Paint, I'll have to try to do what I did here. Let's just say for the record that these minions, Mel and Otto, the ones I drew, look levels better than any minions I've drawn on livestream before. Even more so than the one with Mel wearing his prison overalls. I almost said outfit by accident. I mean, I did play Minion Rush earlier, so it makes sense that I'm drawing minions. Yeah, on regular show Death Day. This is probably how I'm going to draw my minions from now on. I have to write that down on my don't forget. 3,500 for the size. What's the best thing I could describe? Minion Otto. Talkative minion, very similar to how I act like in real life. Very relatable character. Wish that he was in Minion Rush. So many missed opportunities for characters, especially. Stanley S. SquarePants should have had more screen time in SpongeBob. Chad and Jeremy had lots of development, but didn't really make up to potential. What am I even talking about? Hold on a second. Stanley S. SquarePants should have had more appearances besides his own episode. Chad and Jeremy could have been rivals for Mordecai and Rigby. Otto! Wish he could have been in the first Minions movie, but it's debatable whether or not he was the minion that held onto the airplane. Okay? Now I'm just trying to... I kind of messed up a little bit because, still trying to draw Minion here. So let me slow down a little bit. Stanley S. SquarePants. He was a character from a SpongeBob episode by the same name. SpongeBob's clumsy cousin. I wish he could have been in, the Big Birthday Blowout, but maybe he wasn't liked by fans, and so they didn't bring him back. Going back to Chad and Jeremy, well, the Uncho Mazwiki says that they're popular characters, but I don't think people really like them. Even with their episode that they debuted in, they just got a cameo in Every Meat Burritos, and they weren't really utilized to their full potential. Unlike me, where I'm actually writing an actual fan fiction that's got Chad and Jeremy as the main characters. Otto, despite being in the front for the posters for Minions The Rise of Gru, he really didn't have that much screen time in the movie. Yeah, he had a subplot, but he wasn't really shown that much. Even in the commercials, like for IHOP and Liberty Mutual, you see that minion there wearing the pirate attire. He is mad, and you do seem like talking in minionese. But even with that, he's even shown in the front for Rise of Gru on the DVD cover. Why isn't Otto, like, utilized that much? Otto, he was even in the Super Bowl commercial when they're saying Otto's braces. He's going, ah. They're like, why is it that Miss Potential characters tend to be like the best ones that I wish could have been utilized better? Like I said, Stanley as SquarePants from SpongeBob, Chad and Jeremy from Regular Show, Otto from Minions Rise of Gru. Yeah, he's on merchandise, but where was he in the first Minions movie? I did say that he was probably the Minion that held onto the plane and then let go. Okay, you remember when all the Minions were on the plane, holding on to the plane, and then there's like one that's like at the very back, and then he lets go and goes, ah! That was probably Otto, which explains why he wears braces and has that lisp. I do hope he is in Despicable Me 4 because Otto is one of my favorite minions aside of Bob and Kevin. Well, I also like Stuart. The only minion I don't like is Mel. He's the worst minion. Yeah, he's good in Minion Rush, but that's the only thing he's got going for. He's only good in Minion Rush, and that's it. Only a few scenes where he's shown to be likable in Despicable Me 3, while a huge majority of them are basically negatives. Sometimes I tend to mess up on things, and I have to correct myself. I am just like Otto, talking constantly very fast, and I sometimes mess up on what I say. Good thing I caught myself there. Now, I might be able to work with basic... Wow! Look at that! Look at that! This is before, and this is after. Before, after. You see any difference? Wow, so I guess the minions look so much better when I'm drawing in this size format. Yeah, it's Otto, Dangle. See, la Otto. Otto, Dangle. Otto. I'm just hoping that Otto is basically going to be another one of those revealed minions for Despicable Me 4. I'll be upset if he's not. If he was in Rise of Gru, he should also be in Despicable Me 4. Maybe it'll explain where all the other minions were. Where was Bob? Where was Otto? Where was La Butata? Where was all those other minions? Like, maybe the ones from the shorts. I have so many questions. Questions that I need answers to. Allow me to be reintroducing the Otto test. It's got half my style, half Illumination style. Looks exactly like a minion. I even got the colors right. And I really do like how Otto turned out. And absolutely positively, no Jeremy drawings on this live stream. Why would I go out of my own way to, like, draw minions instead of regular show stuff? I needed, like, a test drive, you know? Besides, you know me, innovative and stuff, gotta draw this up besides Jeremy. No offense, but I'm not really digging the Otto test. It looks weird. I'm certainly not digging how Mel turned out either. Even he does look fine, but honestly, the auto test was probably the best minion I've ever drawn. And that's actually really good considering that you got other competition that you have to go up against, like these drawings here. Yeah, so expect to see me draw minions like that from now on. I'll get used to it. So the size would be 3,500 for the minion drawings. But what about when it comes to covers? That's something I'm going to have to basically work on. I really like how Otto turned out. Doesn't it look much better? Well, to be honest, I kind of like how Otto turned out. With having to experiment on other designs while trying to draw the minions, it's really cool to see how one actually turned out better than all the other ones I've done. Therefore making him the superior minion. I was testing whether or not to probably make my own minion OC, therefore creating this guy who doesn't have a name yet. And my Nintendo Switch was in the way. So yeah, that was our highlight. That is the best minion I've ever drawn. I can't wait to show it on DeviantArt later. Doesn't it look amazing? Oh, wait until Zook hears about this.